In this week's Parashat Noach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tells Noach, I'm destroying the world. Mankind has become so evil. Humanity does not deserve to exist. I'm destroying everybody except for you and your family. And for the next 120 years, I want you to build a teva, because the world, that's going to be it. It's the last 120 years. We're giving them time to do teshuvah. They're not going to do teshuvah. And ultimately, Hashem destroys the world. Now, when Noach builds the teva, so the Torah gives us a little bit of a list of stuff that he did, how large it was, how wide it was. And then it tells us, tzohar ta'aseh la teva. You're going to build a tzohar for the teva. Now, what is a tzohar? So it says Rashi, machloket. Yesh omrim halon, v'yesh omrim even tova ha'meira lahem. So one opinion says that Noach built a window, and I guess from the window, whatever light was coming out, even though we know a big part of it was all darkness, the waters from above and below rejoined with each other. But one opinion says that there was a window. I guess that's where the light came from. And another opinion says that there was this stone, and this stone itself brought light. I mean, there's actually ideas that this stone is going to relate to the first luchot. It's going to relate to a stone that brought healing that Avraham Avinu wore around his neck. But there's a machloket. Is it a window or is it a stone? Now, what in the world is this machloket all about? So I heard Dvar Torah from our Rav last year in our Beit Knesset, which I actually thought was unbelievable. So I started looking up what's the earlier source for this. So I actually found in Sefer Pa'amei Yaakov, he actually goes and gives a history of rabbis who brought down this Dvar Torah. He saw it from a Binyamin Katzenellenbogen in a Sefer Menorat Zahav. He saw it in another Sefer called Keilat Moshe. He saw it brought earlier in a Sefer called Edut B'Yosef. But he says the earliest Dvar Torah that he could find, the earliest rabbi you can find that wrote this Dvar Torah was the Gaon Rabbi Yehuda Dewan, which he writes was the Rabbah Shel Hebron, the rabbi of Hebron, who wrote a sefer called Chuta Meshulash. So I actually looked him up a little bit, and I saw that he was for a time in. It sounds like he was originally in Tzfat. It sounds like he was in Hebron. This is the late 1600s, early 1700s. For a time, he was in Yerushalayim. A while when things got very dangerous in Eretz Yisrael, he was in Aram Soba. He was in Chalab, in Aleppo, in Syria for a while as well. Till eventually he came back. Was part of the Beit Din. Was a Dayan of the Rishon LeZion here in Eretz Yisrael in the early 1700s, made many Rabbanim, including his nephew, Rav Amram ben Dewan, who's the great famous sage of Morocco. He left Eretz Yisrael to go to Morocco, so this is the uncle who was a big Rav in Eretz Yisrael. Okay, so he says as follows. What's this machloket all about? Is it a halon or is it a stone? Like what? Who cares? Why does that matter? So he says it's actually the same machloket that we saw at the very start of our parashat. The very start of the parashat started off Ele Toldot Noach is tzaddik tamim haya bedorotav. That Noach was a tzaddik bedorotav. What does it mean? He was a tzaddik in his generation. So says Rashi, Yesh merabotenu dorshim oto leshevach. There are those who learn positively. He really was a tzaddik. Kol sheken she'ilu haya bedor tzaddikim and tzaddik yoter. That just like he was righteous in this generation, so kol sheken, every generation, he would have been super righteous. V'yesh shodoshim oto lignai. But then there are those who learn more negatively. Lefi doro ya tzaddik, v'ilo ya bedoro shel Avraham, lo ya nechshav leklum. He was a tzaddik in this generation, but if he was in Avraham generations, he wouldn't be thought of anything. So says this Rabbi Yehuda Dewan, he says that's the same machloket here. According to the Manda Amar, according to the opinion that says that he was this super tzaddik, there was a halon. He was allowed to see outside what a Kadosh Baruch Hu was doing. But according to the opinion that he was only a tzaddik for his generation, but in a generation like Avraham Avinu, he really wouldn't have been anything special. Therefore, he didn't have the right to see what was going on outside. Because we know, if we fast forward to Parashat Vayera, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to destroy the city of Sodom, so Hashem is going to destroy Sodom. He's going to save Lot and his family, and he warns Lot and his family, don't turn around. You're not allowed to look back. Ultimately, we know that Lot's wife is going to turn around and she's going to turn into a pillar of salt. But when HaKadosh Baruch Hu says don't turn around, so says Rashi, says the pasuk, they warn them. They say, "Vayomer, you have to run away, but whatever you do, al tabit aharecha." Don't turn around. Says Rashi, Ata yeshata imahem. Lord, you weren't the most righteous guy. Ubischut Avraham ata nitzol. Avraham was always brought into these stories. Avraham is Avram's zechut. You're his nephew. It's his zechut that you're being saved. Beinecha kedai liot beporanuta v'ata nitzol. You're not allowed to look back. You're not on the level. You don't have the zechut to look back. Only tzaddikim gemurim. Only the real tzaddik is allowed to look back and see the destruction, be on that level. But you don't deserve it. You have a special chesed from Hashem that you're being saved. saved. V'Noach matzachen b'nei Adonai. In our parasha, Lot and Noach share a lot of similarities. Lot, you're saved for a reason. Noach, you're saved because you're tzaddik of your generation. But according to the opinion that it's only your generation, but you're not righteous enough to actually see the destruction. So he says that's the machloket. Is it a halon or is it a stone? If he was a tzaddik like Abraham or even greater than Abraham, the first opinion, it was a halon. He could look outside, he could see what's going on, because on that level you are worthy. But if he's just special for his generation, but compared to Abraham he was a nothing, so you, just like Lot, have no right to be looking or looking back, seeing the destruction, seeing the Pur Anut. Therefore, according to that opinion, it was only a stone that brought about light. Shabbat Shalom.